I think it's an incredibly exciting time for Australia. The rise of Asia, the globalization of the world economy has put Australia centre stage for the first time in its history. We've moved from being an outstation of a European, North American dominated world to a nation which is at the heart of the interaction between the old world and the new, the old economies of Europe and the US and the rising powers of Asia. And I think we have an understanding as a nation and a people to really help the world come together for the next stage of its journey. The greatest anthropologist of the 20th century was the American scientist Margaret Mead, and she very famously said, "Don't ask if a group of committed citizens working together can change the world, nothing else can." Now that's what the Global Foundation is all about. The world faces enormous challenges at the moment, and the need for smart, insightful people to work together and contribute not only to the debate but the directions we follow is more than ever in modern history. In our country, Australia, is particularly important because some aspects of the country, and I'll mention much of business, certainly academia, universities, are fully engaged in the Asian century. Our government lags behind a little, and general sentiment in the population lags behind even further. And there's a great need really to work to get Australia as a whole up to speed so that we take advantages of the opportunities of the time. The most important thing for a CEO is to understand the milieu in which their business is operating and the opportunities the business has. For most players in Australia, and that includes most of the big areas in which the country is now operating, all of the service industries, education, health, tourism, food production, the food bowl, and resources, interaction with the massive Asian economies to our north is the single most important strategic aspect to many CEOs' jobs. And yet they've grown up in a milieu where that wasn't the case. So the opportunities offered by the Global Foundation to have dialogue with people in a similar situation, but even more importantly to speak to people who understand the issues and to meet leaders from the region is incredibly valuable. The most important thing for Australia's future is that we're a part of the evolving world economy and of the regional economy around us. And silly questions like which is the most important country to Australia, the US, Japan, China, Indonesia, aren't asked because they're not sophisticated or clever questions. The Global Foundation has a huge role to play in helping Australia as a nation find its place, and it needs help.